I went to her like a missile. It was like I was aimed. And what she did for me, as no other human being has ever stepped up and done for me what Madeline did for me. I didn't even know half the shit she was doing for me at the time. So anyway, a couple days after we start seeing each other every day, you know, she brings me back to life. And I have a purpose again, man. And my purpose is Madeline. And, excuse me, I'm making a cup of coffee. You guys know me. So that September, you know, I'm picking her up every day. I'm taking her back to Sinclair Place. She's still living there. I think for the most part in September, first 3 weeks. And, you know, we're going to lunch and dinner every day. We're spending time together. We're going out. We're seeing places. I just had a great time with Madeline, just being with her. The people at Sinclair Place, man, Nancy Craig, fucking bitch. She, they were against me, man. They were against me from the start, and they took it out on Madeline. And Amy Amayo was the head med tech at Sinclair Place, and she denied Madeline her medicine for about 2.5 weeks. And it's really weird because I got the medical form that shows, you know, out of facility. OOF meant they were out of facility. And there were days I have on my cell phone, I got the records that showed that I called her and we talked for 20 minutes while she was in the facility that day. I mean, there's at least 10 times that it said out of facility. And it is my belief, Madeline ended up in the hospital November 1st, 2018. Her kidneys were shutting down, her liver, her salt was way off. There was something else in her that was shutting down, and it almost killed her. She spent a week in the hospital, and I think that there was a whole bunch of things that got Madeline in the hospital, but that kicked it off. Amy Amayo, you fucking you started the death of my wife, is what you did. You bitch, man. You fat bitch. So anyway, I'm seeing Madeline. We end up, she doesn't want to go back. She doesn't want to, no, I'm jumping ahead here. Okay, all I wanted to do was take care of Madeline. That is all I wanted to do. I had no, I thought I was going to be her son for the rest of her life. I was going to treat her like I should have treated my mom. You know, I couldn't do that. My mom she pushed me away. I couldn't take care of her, and I, you know, could take care of Madeline like I couldn't take care of my mom. And so I have this spot up Palo Alto. I call it the spot, man. It's my spot. It's where I spent the summer of 2016. I spent, 7 months up there, 6 months. I loved it. I had the best time of my life looking back. And I was up there 2018. That's where I was when I did my Christ Odyssey and didn't eat. And you know, I took Madeline up there, and we were getting out of my truck. I was helping her out because she had a walker. She had, you know, and I opened the door, and she's looking at me like a woman looks at a man, you know. And I had no clue up until that moment, you know. It changed everything in me. You know, it was like, okay, if I was devoted to Madeline, and whatever Madeline needed from me, she would get. And if that's what she needed from me, so be it. I had no clue up until that moment. It blew me away. I'm like, it took me back. I'm going, she's looking at you like a woman wants a man, John. Now what the fuck you gonna do? So anyway, you know, I'll say this. We did get intimate. I don't think we got intimate until towards the last week of September that year. You know, we spent a month and a half together. we were friends. That, bottom line, we were friends. So that, kind of changed my relationship direction with her. And at this time, I was getting reported in September. There must have been 4 wellness checks on Madeline by the Sequim police. Man, I was getting tired. Those fuckers are hassling me. They came away every time. Madeline was fine. She was okay, man. They couldn't do anything. And then it was like the end of September, man, like the 30th. I get a letter from Rod Johnson. He's with the DSHS, Department of Social and Health Services, and he's opened a case, or a case has been opened against me, and they need our statements and our, so, Madeline and I at this time, we're living in a hotel. We're living in Quality Inn, which was like anywhere from 120 to 160 a night, and Madeline didn't care. And I had a little bit different idea of money than Madeline did. And I just, she didn't care, but that's a lot of money, 160 bucks a night. And so we end up, she didn't want to go back. She didn't want to leave me. She didn't, so we are living together in a hotel. And really, really nice. She liked it too because they had a really good continental breakfast. And they always had biscuits and gravy, which she loved. And anyway, so we're living there. I get this letter, and it was kind of an act of desperation on my part when I get this letter from Rod Johnson. And I think I got the letter on like a Friday, and so I had all weekend, and I called him on Monday, and he wants to meet up, and we meet up at Applebee's there in Sequim. Sat at this lady's table for like 3 hours. I ended up giving her $10, going, "I'm sorry." She's like, no. But anyway, and we both write out our statement, and it starts off, Rod Johnson, if you ever hear this, man, you were the coolest one. You were the one that treated me like a human being out of this whole process. Wendy Jackson, if I ever get the chance, I'm going after your fucking job, you bitch. Man, she was going to make, little fucking 23-year-old straight out of college was going to make her career on me. God, that was great, man. I walk a fine line very finely. And I walked that one, came out the other side. Anyway, so I'm getting hassled, and I get this letter, and I panic, and I said to Madeline, I said, "Would you marry me?" And she said yes. And so that Friday, we went in, got our marriage license. And so you have to wait 3 days, and they gave us a list of people that can marry you, and we got a hold of this Connie Miller, I believe it was. She married us. And no, that couldn't have been the 30th because we got married on the 1st, and that was the 3rd day. So anyway, we get married at the railroad bridge. And, when I first moved here, I was riding a 10-speed across that bridge every single day to work, man, watching the salmon come up. Ever since I crossed that river for the first time, the Dungeness River, it's held something special to me. There's something about that river draws me. And anyway, so we get married at the Dungeness River. And, I mean, everybody, God, by this time I had met Delman Sage, Judy Sage, and Rusty Sage. They, I think, reported me that I was, exploiting Madeline. I was, God, I'm the only one who wasn't. So, I mean, I'm getting hassled, and, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself before us getting married. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So I had met the Sages. They are caretakers of Madeline's homestead property. Her family got here in like the 1870s and homesteaded 95 acres, whatever it is, 100 acres. And these fucking people were swindling Madeline out of it. First time I met them, and we were up at the horse camp, and I pull up, and they realize it's Madeline, and they all gather around. "Oh, we love you, Madeline, we love you." And that rang so fucking untrue in my gut the first time I heard that from them fucking people. First time, I go, "This is a lie. There's something, man, it never ever felt right being around those people."